Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ADHATUL binti Abdul Razak. My student ID 2019209012. I will be the first presenter for my group assignment, which is library management system. Before that, I will be the presenter for startup page, registration page, and login page. Let's go to the startup page. In startup page, we have logo, welcoming text, button register, button login, and button exit. This is the interface for startup page. As you can see, this is the logo, which is Read or Write Public Library, and this is the tagline, which is Access the Door to Future. Welcome to Library Portal is the welcoming text for user. And we have three buttons, which is register, login, and exit button. If user click register button, this application will bring user to registration page. Same goes to the login button. When user click login button, this application will bring user to login page, which is from login. And when user click exit button, this application will be closed. So that's all for startup page. Let's move to another page, which is registration page. In this page, we have text box, button register, button update, button delete, button info, button exit, and extra button, which is next, last, first, and previous button. And the last one we have level. This is the interface for registration page. As you can see, this is the label, which is click the info button to get info, which is when user click info button, user will the manual label will be appear, which is the label can clear the user. This is the extra button. First, last, next, and previous. User can click first, last, next, previous button to see the data, which is first data, last data, next data, and previous data. The delete button, user can delete their information when user no longer be our librarian, so user can delete. As you can see, the exit button in this page, exit button, when user click exit button, this application will bring user to the startup page. First thing to do, if user want to register, user need to click button register. After click the button register, the message box will be display the step to user, which is user need to fill in all the information, which is name, staff ID, phone number, username, and password. After finish, user need to click update button, and when no error, the message box will be appear and display successful register. After successful register, automatic, this application will bring user to the login page. So that's all for registration page. Next, login page. In login page, we have text box, which is username and password, button login, button clear, and button exit. This is the interface for login page. User need to fill in correct information to login this page, and this application will bring user to menu list page, which is the next page. If user fill the wrong data or information, when user click login, message box will be appear and display error, which is user need to re-enter again the correct information. The clear button, which is if user click the clear button, automatic the data that user fill in will be clear. And The last one, exit button, which is the exit button. When user click exit button, this application will bring user to startup page. Okay, next, I will show you this application after run. As you can see, this is the startup page. This is the logo, which is Read Albright Public Library, and this is the tagline, access the door to future. This is the welcoming text, which is welcome to library portal, and there are three buttons, which is register, login, and exit button. When user click register button, register button, this application will bring user to the registration page. And when user click login button, this application will bring user to the login page, and when user click the exit button, this application will be closed. Okay, wait. Okay, first we need to click register button. Okay, this is the registration page. Oh my bad. This is the registration page. As you can see, this is the label, which is the label inform user to click info button to get info. When user click info button, this label will be appear, which is this is the manual for user to be clear. This is the extra button, which is first button, last button, next button, and previous button. This button can get, when you click last button, it can get the last data of access. When you click previous, it will show you the previous data, and when you click next, it will show you next data, and when you click first, it will show you the first data of the access. Okay, like this. And this is the delete button, which is user can delete all the information of the registration, which is when user do not want to be our librarian, so user can delete their all information. Okay, like this. After you click delete, this message box will appear and display that data has been removed. Okay, first, when you need to register, user need to click register button, and this is the step that user can do to register, which is fill in all the information and click button update. So I will show you. Khalid and staff ID ROB 990, and phone number random. Username Khalid 123 124, my bad, sorry, and the password Khalid 124 123 124. Okay, next, user need to click update button. When no error, this message box will be appear and display successfully registered and thank you. After user click OK, this application will bring user to the login page. Okay, like this. This is the login page. In this page, we have two text box, which is user need to fill in and click button login. But make sure user fill in the correct data or information. When user click wrong data, this message box will be, which is error. Username or password invalid. It is because this username and this password not be registered yet. So user need to key in the correct data, which is we registered before, and click button login. Okay, this is the correct data. So this message box will be appear and display welcome to the Read or Write Public Library. So user successfully login and register. After user click button OK, this application will bring user to the next form, which is menu list form. That's all from me. Thank you. Okay, this is the additional part, which is I have some condition to make it more clear, which is in registration page. User need input the password, which is 8 into, which is 8 digits until 12. If user register less than 8 digit or more than 12, this message box will be appear. I will show you. Okay, I just fill it. I just input 5 digit only, and this is, and this message box will be appear, which is error. The password must be in between 8 until 12 length. So this this information or this data will not register yet. So user need to key in again. User need to re-enter with the term, with the condition, which is 8 to until 12. So when user enter correct information, correct condition, this message box will be appear, which is successfully registered. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
So after the user has finally successfully logged into the system, then the menu list page will be displayed. And the menu list page is for user to choose which page they would like to go. In this menu list page, there is a menu strip on the top, and the menu strips is where the user can click whichever they want so that they can be redirected to the pages that they choose. So in the menu strip, there is the book details, the borrower, book issue, book return, late return, user, login information, and the exit button. So the 6 buttons over here will be redirect the user to the new page. So for the login information, it will display the current user that have logged in into the system and the current date and time. And for the exit button, it will exit the page. So this is the menu list interface. As you can see on the top here is the menu strip that I just set. And this is the login information. When you click there, it will be something display over here. And this is the exit button where it will close the menu list page. And there's also a pictures over here. Next is the book details page. So when the user click the book details page in the menu list, when the user click this, then a book details page will show, and it will show all the details about the books in the library. So in the book details, there is the search, add, update, delete, list of books, and return button. So this is how it looks like. So as you can see, the search button where the user can search the books that they want based on the ISBN, the author, and the title name. And this is where the user can add, update, and delete a books. And this is where user can click and it will show all the details of the books in this data grid view. And this is the return button to go back to the menu list page. Next is the borrower page. When the user clicks the borrower page in the menu list page, the borrower page obviously will appear. So the borrower page is for user to see about the borrower and the list of the books that had already been borrowed. So in this page, there consists of the borrower details group box, the search, add, update, list of books borrowed, and return. So this is how the borrower interface looks like. As you can see, if the user wanted to search a borrower, they can search based on the borrower names over here. And if the user wanted to add a new borrower details, they can just click over here, add, and then update. And if the user wanted to delete the borrower details, they can also click over here. And this, if the user click over here, then there will be a list of the books that had already been borrowed. And there is the return button, so that the user can return back to the menu list page. So this is the menu list page. So when the user click the picture, it will change. There's only 3 types of pictures. And if the user click the login information, then the username of the user that had a login will display, and also the date and time, the current date and time also will display here in this group box. So if the user doesn't want to see this anymore, they can click the X button over here. Next, let's go to the book details. So this is the book details page. So as you can see, this are all the books that are in the library. So if the user wanted to search a book, they can search based on the ISBN or the book title or the author name. So for example, ISBN, then the book based on this ISBN will appear. So if the user search a book title, then this books will appear. How about the author? For example, Thomas, it will display. So if the user doesn't enter anything and then they click search, then the message box will appear and it will say enter ISBN or book title or author to find a book. So if the user click the non-existent books, for example, book, search, then the message box arrow will appear. It says the book you searched does not exist. So if the user wanted to add a new book, then we can just, the user may enter all the details about the books. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they have to click the update, and then a message box will appear set that the data is saved successfully. So next, if the user wanted to see all the list of the books in the library, they can click show all, and all the list of the books will appear. And this is the books that we just add in. So if the user wanted to delete a book, just click whichever books they want, for example, this one, and then click delete. And then a message box will appear, set the data has been removed. And okay. And if the user doesn't want to see this page anymore, they can go and click the return button over here, and the menu list page will appear. Next is the borrower, and the borrower page will appear. So this is the borrower details, as you can see. So if we want to search a borrower name, for example, Nurin, then the borrower details will appear. If we put a wrong name, a non-existent name, for example, Lily search, then there will be an error that the borrower name does not exist. So if we want to add a new borrower, we have to click the add, and then we'll search, and we'll search, enter. And then click update. Data has saved successfully. So now you can see that the new borrower details are already safe and can be searched. So if you want to delete a borrower details, all you have to do is search the name, for example, NORIZZETI, search, and then delete. And then it will say the data has been removed. So if you search again this name, then there's an error will appear. Next is if you click the borrow button over here, then It will display a list of all the books that have been borrowed. So as you can see, it has the ISBN, your publication, book title, author, publisher name, date borrowed, date returned, number of overdue days, and late return fines. And if you're done with this page and you want to return back, you can click over here. And then it will show the menu list page. If you want to close the menu list page, you can just click the exit button.
Recording. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is IRFAN and I will present about the book issues page, the book return and late return page. Let's see. Book issue page. After user click on the book issue button on the menu list, they can access the book issue page of the library management system. The book issue page is for user to input the information needed in borrowing books process. Book issues has ISBN, book title, borrower's name, issue date, due date, insert button, and return button. The ISBN and book title they will use as combo box because it will be easier for user to find the information for information based on ISBN and book title for a specific book. Next, borrower's name also we use combo box in order to find the books or borrower. If there is no one borrowing the books, then the borrow page button will be visible. Next, we have issue date and due date. They both will be text box so that the user can enter current date or due date for the borrowing process. Next, we have insert button. User need to enter this button to keep the data into a database. And lastly, return button is to exit this page and return to the menu this page. Okay, here we have the interface of the book issues. Okay, next we have book return page. Book return page are used for borrower to return the book. The page consists of borrower's name, borrower's IC number, list of book borrowed, book return button, and return button. Borrower's name will be combo box because it will be easier for user to find the borrower's name. Also, IC number use combo box to find the IC number of the borrower. Then we have list of book borrowed. This list will use data grid view. This list display information of borrowers and their books. If the late return status display yes, then the system will open late return page. Next, book return. User need to click this button to insert the data into database. Lastly, we have return, which is to exit this page and return to the menu list page. Here we have the interface of book return. Next, we have late return page. This page is for user to see information about the late return details and total fines. This page consists of list of late return books, search, and fines payment. List of late returns book. This data grid consists of all the book information that have not been written yet. And it will display data like borrower's name, IC, and phone number. Then next we have search. These functions allows user to search the late return information based on borrower's name and IC number, and the details information will be displayed in the same page. Lastly, we have fines payment. This allows user to see the details about the late return fines with the total amount and insert the fines payment made by borrowers when returning the books. Here we have the interface of late return. Next, we see the actual project. This is issue. Here we have book issue page. This is the combo box which with the list we can click. This is the text box where we will input our date. Then this is the borrower name. So if the borrower name is empty, then this button will be visible. This will insert the data into the database. This is the book return project. Here we have the combo box, same like the book issue, and the return date, which is text box. And this button will insert the data into the database. Here we have the display the list of borrowers book. Next we have the late return project. Okay, just like the previous project, we have the combo box of the name and IC. Then we have search button to search the actual name based on the to search the list here based on the borrower's name and IC. Then we have fines payment to calculate the total fines, and the label will be displayed here. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azfar bin Muhammad AFFENDY. I'm who is in charge with the 2.6 who need to make user information pages and making a database for this group. Okay, now I will present about my work in this group. Okay, about my project about user information page. Briefly about my user information page. After users have successfully logged into the system, they can access the user information page. User information page is for user to see all the registered user information. In this page, we can see about user detail group box. We have search button. We have update button, delete button, list of users, and return button. So for the user detail group box, it will show you the register information about users, such as username, staff name, staff ID, and phone number. Search button allow users to search the user based on the username, and details of the user will show up. Update button allow user to update existing user information and details. And delete button delete information about users. And list of users show all the list of registered user in the system, and return to exit this page and return to the list menu page. We can see the screenshot of example. So we have a group box of about user. We have username, staff ID, and phone number. We have the data grid view that show the about user from the database. We have the update button, delete button, and exit button, and we have search button under here. So right now I will try to open the user information page and running it. Okay, Okay, now I will try to run my program. Okay, I'm gonna press start. Okay, my program consists username, a group box of username, staff name, staff ID, phone number. I have update button, I have delete button, and exit button. Also, I have data get view, and I have this search button under here. So let's try to run my program. A little bit slow. Okay, so this is my program. Okay, we can see there's a name here, Ahmad, Zulaika, and Badrun. Let's say we want to search, so we press this under here. We want to search for Zulaika, then this is for Zulaika. I press this button. Here we can see Zulaika only. Then if you want to see all bad, then erase it. Okay. Then all gonna come back. Then let's say Ahmad want to change his username. Let's say he doesn't like M10 behind his name because M10 is like for Messi 10. Let's say he changed his player to CR7 and play CR7. Okay, then he want to update it, so you just press update. Update button here, we have Ahmad CR7. Then let's say Badrul get fired from the job, so his data need to be deleted, so we can just like delete it. Sure, yes. Then after that, yeah, this is my program. Then I'm gonna show our database. Okay, let's see. Okay, now I will present about our database. So this is our database. We have user, book already borrowed, borrow 2, borrow books, and later finds. And about this is the query about borrower. And okay, the user, this is the librarian, that the staff user that have registered. So we have Ahmad Alba, we have Arya Muhammad, and Zeti. We have their staff ID, their phone number, their username and password. So there we're gonna see the book that have in the library. We have calculus. We have their book code, ISBN. We have their year publication. We have their book title. We have their author. We have the publisher, and we have their book category and book ID. Then we're gonna see the book that already borrowed. We have this consists 3 book that already be borrowed, and we're gonna see the date borrowed and date return and number of overdue date, and if there any we're gonna see here. Yeah, here is consists of late status. If this book is late to return, then we're gonna see the fine. Is 2 days late, so it's 2 ringgit. 4 days late, so 4 ringgit. Then 6 days late and 6 ringgit. I want to see the name of borrower. Okay, this is the name of borrower, but and this their borrow ID and the borrow books, and we're gonna see if what is their borrow ID for the borrowers. This is, let's see, is Muhammad Qazairi, and his borrow ID is U987. Is U987 is late return fine, and we can see it. Nope, he doesn't have in it, so he returned the book in time, so it's okay. And this is the query. The query we have borrow name, IC phone number, and their address. Okay, and that's it for our database. Okay, so thank you from me.